One of the questions we conductors are always asked is, what is the point of you? And whatever it is you're doing, couldn't the orchestra just do that on their own? Does an orchestra need a conductor? The answer is, wait for it, no, absolutely not. Of course, they could do the whole thing on their own. You think I'm just saying that? Watch this.
Folks, I'm the conductor, right? I want to show you, those people who haven't been before, right, what it's like to be conducted, okay? I'm going to conduct this orchestra in that piece we just did, the typewriter. We're going to do it again. This is the typewriter again. Here we go. Ready? This is me conducting the orchestra in the typewriter. Here we go. Yeah, that's me conducting. Now listen to the Philharmonic Orchestra do that entirely on their own. Spot the difference?
See? But although they could probably get through a fair amount of music without using a conductor, in this video I'm going to tell you about 5 things which make life much easier for an orchestra if they do. Let's start simple. Thing the first. If an orchestra wants to play together, everyone has to play at the same speed. You can't have the cellos, for example, playing twice as fast as the violins so they can finish this piece and get back to checking their Facebook page. That doesn't work. The orchestra needs someone to give them the speed, the tempo of the music. Thing the second. Having given the tempo, the orchestra needs someone to show clearly when everybody should actually start playing. A famous conductor, Sir Thomas Beecham, once said, "There are 2 golden rules for an orchestra: start together and finish together. The public doesn't give a damn what goes on in between." Well, they kind of do, but he was being funny. It was a joke. If they start together at the right speed, you get this. If they don't start together at the right speed, you get this. So that's 2 things. But hang on, didn't we just see the Philharmonic Orchestra do those 2 things in the first clip? Yes, but look at that clip again. This time watch the leader of the orchestra, the woman sitting at the front of the first violins. Since I'm not conducting, it's she who gives the tempo and when everyone should start. So actually there is still a conductor, kind of. Problem is, she's sitting down and also has to play the violin. So the orchestra really needs the person who gives them the info to stand out where everyone can see them, up front and central, not like this. A conductor who stands behind the orchestra, now that really is just pretty useless. Okay, I will grant you, things 1 to 3 are really not that hard. If the piece is some yumpty-tumpty number with no changes in tempo at any point, a trained monkey could do it. And in fact, there are quite a few conductors who, if ever pitted against a trained monkey, would lose. But what if there's something else going on with the music, like the Blue Danube? The Blue Danube doesn't just start at a gallop, it rolls to a start. Starting slowly, bit faster, little stop, on it goes. Maybe the musicians might be able to work that out on their own eventually, but there can be up to 80 or 90 musicians in an orchestra. They've all got different opinions. Have you ever tried to get 80 or 90 people to agree on anything? With everyone arguing, they'd probably run out of rehearsal time before they even got to the tune. So to speed up the process, they need someone they like and respect to do the job for them. But since they can't find anyone they like and respect, they have to use a conductor. Thing the fourth. In an orchestra, not everybody is playing all the time. Quite a lot of it, they're waiting around, counting beats until the piece requires them to add their bit. Like the brass, for example. Never get into a conversation with a trumpet player. This is the kind of thing you get. Hi, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. How are you? 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. After which they empty out a load of spit onto your carpet. The worst are the percussionists, who generally sit at the back waiting for their big moment to come in, secretly reading books and taking selfies. And this can get really bad. In the 7th Symphony by Anton Bruckner, for example, there is only one cymbal smash in the whole piece. Just one, and it lasts for 70 minutes. Of course, they could try to count it, but you know how it is? You're counting beats for 35 minutes, your mind drifts off for a second to how the technicians in the hall change the light bulbs, and you've lost it. Have you ever seen an orchestral part? There's not much to go on. The one person who's going to reassure the cymbal player that yes, this is the right place to come in, and no, they won't look like a git, is the one person with all the music in front of them, the conductor. Thing the 5th. When you're sitting in the audience listening to an orchestra play something like Ravel's Bolero, for instance, you hear this. When you're actually in the orchestra, it sounds more like this. If you're sitting in the middle of it, you've got absolutely no idea of the overall effect. Is your bit too loud? Too soft? Are the clarinets smashing it and drowning everybody else out? The orchestra needs someone who's standing away from the din to get an overall impression and to make adjustments. Think of it like sitting in front of a mixing desk. How do they do that? With gestures. Why? Because the audience is listening. If the conductor started shouting, "More flutes! Be quiet, trumpets, don't make me come over there," they'd wreck the gig. Here are some of the gestures. This means louder, please. This means softer, please. And this means shut it, violas, you're playing all the wrong notes. So there it is. 5 things. Hope that makes sense. Comments, please. Subscribe, hit the bell, all that stuff. See you next time.